Okay, Rob Ellis, Pink Development Construction, and we have an easement that runs right through our property. You can see it a little bit right here. It comes across here, and then it goes diagonal. Now, we are not the first people to develop around this, so we wanted to look at how did they do it. And it comes across, and then it shoots down to the walking trail. So, um, that's exactly how we are trying to plot ours. What we did was look at the existing. We've gone like down here, and you can kind of see how they're integrated within the neighborhood already. Typically, they're placed within the first 5 feet of the right of way. You can drive under them, right? These are things that you don't even notice every day. Doesn't mean that we need to have them above, maybe not, but they do provide security, they do provide access, right? We're still working with the design teams on the new part of it, but what we're talking about is what we thought was going to be a big problem. We're actually platting around and making a difference. So if you look here too, this comes across, let's see here. You see right here. It's where this blue line is. So this is our site. So how do we develop around that? If we have a power line that runs through and the area here that that it encompasses is substantial. It's probably 8 acres altogether. So we still have a large usable part of the site. And there's also power lines down here too. So up here, they come in on the north side. And down here, they come in on the south side right here. And if we go down here, we can look at, this is how things were platted back then. So these are, let's look at 73 by 116. Lots now are a little bit narrower of what we're putting in here. But this is the exact thing that we need to work around. So instead of, we had the initial conversation with the power company today. And again, we can come down here and drop this in, and you're going to see, um, you see how these run behind as well? There are some that run behind the houses, but I would say that's not traditional. And this is where, this is our other access point. So the new ones we can probably bury. That's something that we have to ask. Can we bury the new ones? And so what we want to do is to create burying utilities frees up vertical space. It gets a better, it can be more expensive depending on the size, but it's part of our master planning. So this isn't a more mature, they have to approve it, but it doesn't matter for us wherever they are. I don't think they're going to bury their existing utility lines. And we can work with them, but for a preliminary plat submission, we move faster than these companies do. So this is basically what we're dealing with, which is these lines that run through here, right? So we want to place those in, and these are transmission lines. They're a little bit bigger. These are feeder lines. And he said that they can't be buried. So based on that, what we do is we do a write-up on it. And it says the proposed development involves the extension of Third Street along the southern boundary of the site, matching the existing development pattern and surrounding area. The road design will integrate the existing utility easement along the northern boundary, which is located within the public right of way. The new easement will be created along Warren Street as there is no existing recorded easement in the area. By following the new development pattern established along Third, the new road will blend seamlessly. Third Road it's a lot of technical things. North access, south and north access, existing development pattern, natural flow of traffic, the new road alignment. It talks about utility easements, sidewalk and curb where it's typically placed. The new easement for Warren will be created to accommodate the transmission lines. Utility control. For utilities beyond the transmission lines, we're burying them and controlling. The right of way will be along Third and Warren and will work with Edison, compliance with local regulations, survey and legal work, plan submission, and coordination. This shows how that accesses it right here. It comes in like that. It shows where it comes in. So what we have to do is lay roads. This has to be the northern. This can be like right here, we can start lots, right? So this might be like a circulator road that comes in, or we plot the first one that comes up like this, right? But this is like, we could have feeder roads like this, like this. We could put stormwater down here, potentially. Or down here, right? So we could have another, right here, we could have a circulator road and a cul-de-sac that comes off of it. And then this shows where it goes right now, which is over here. So we just have to figure out how we're going to work with it. This is what some of the existing neighborhoods around there, this neighborhood down here, they had street poles that ran in here, and there's some lines that run up here too along the cul-de-sac. This is the other one. So they put the backyards up against it with privacy fences and big thick foliages, but I think it's better to put it in the right of way. So we basically have, I think doing it in the right of way is a little bit of a better solution. This is what that easement looks like, which is let's see here. The Grand Lodge of Ohio gave it to Ohio Edison for $1 and other things. It talks about how it went, it talks about where it started, and then you can kind of figure it out. So we reached out to this company and we have to reach out to them as part of this submission, but if we plat around it, we're not going to have a lot of changes, and the rest of them we can bury. So as we plat it, what this looks like is it comes across and down like that, maybe a little bit higher like this. So it just means that we have to integrate that into the design, and they don't have to take it down, and it's to not cause any friction, right? And then up here, this is more like, it might be like this, we might go like that, right? We can extend Warren to here and have different, we can have like tee-off roads like this, right? Like this, and then we can have a long road like this. So our existing plat right now looks like, let's see this. This was our preliminary. Deal write-ups, April, Springfield. This is the concept, and this is it's this. So all that we're saying is, you see, this long run doesn't change. What changes is this comes in and goes up. We'll put some probably here. This will come in and go up. It's perfect, right? So we'll just this middle plat area. And then when we come down, we'll probably put it on the backyards of these other ones and then into the right of way. So if we can do that, that's great. It just changes a little, it doesn't change this much. It might change a little bit of this configuration, but it really isn't gonna change much. It's really just where the stormwater is placed. Again, we might put the stormwater over here, or we already had this one. So we might say, hey, maybe we can do, it might change a little bit of that stuff. Maybe we put this stormwater pond. We don't want to change it. We'll just probably move it in the center somewhere here. And that's where this intersects. It'll probably be, we might make these we'll probably keep these about the same length, but we might shorten these up a little bit to like 120, which I think will be fine. We've seen lots of shores 110. So 130, so I can describe what that looks like to them, and that's everything. So when you have power lines that run across your site, it's not the end of the world. You just need to integrate around it. And from looking at the early easements and getting the title record, I think it helps substantially. We're trying to get preliminary feedback from all the departments and submit it in the next few weeks on this site. And what we thought was going to be a potential major issue is actually going to be totally fine. So it just changes a little bit of the layouts here. I think we'll keep the layouts. Well, the rest of these can be buried and we can say there's an existing easement that we can reflect now coming across like that. Thanks for watching. And let's see, does it say how wide it is? For 10 feet. So if we plat around that and they can access a lot of it, it's a lot easier. So if you look at this, if we want to make that a road, right, it might change things a little bit in our yield tables, but the whole point is just to match the development patterns. We could do it like they did over here too, which is they are allowed to come in here and come across it. And there's another access point. You see, I think where these cut in, it was around here. So there's another 10-foot easement that brings us across. So that's probably what we'll do here. And I'll just have to work with them to describe it. Thanks for watching.